I'd love if you were to discuss our old khalkubidan tattooing, motifs, traditions, and practices. Tattooing is an ancient Iranian tradition. We know this because bodies we've dug up from thousands of years ago have tattoos on them. Although tattooing is now universal, it was not until very recently. We find evidence of this in the fact that the word tattoo is a loanword into English. This isn't perfect linguistics, but it stands to reason if tattooing was very common among English-speaking peoples, they would have their own word for it. Before the word tattoo, English speakers used to talk of printing or staining the skin, and that's what I had to look up in old books to read about tattooing in Iran. The Persian ladies not only dye their hair and eyebrows, but also stain their bodies with a variety of fantastic devices, not unfrequently with the figures of trees, birds, and beasts, sun, moon, and stars. As we read was a practice of our ancient British ancestors. This sort of pencil work spreads over the bosom and continues down as low as the navel. Another book reads, tattooing is practiced among all classes in Persia. I found this excerpt illuminating. I'll put it up there and you can pause and read it. It mentions that most of the tattooers were Jewesses. This is because historically Sunni Muslims consider tattoos impermissible, so just like alcohol selling, tattooing was done by Jews and Christians. In another text we read, Persian women are particularly fond of having their eyebrows connected by a line. This is no longer common among Persians in Iran, but Persians in Tajikistan, they are fond of drawing on those unibrows. Can you imagine the thing we cringe at now? Our thick Persian unibrows were in the past exaggerated by tattoos because they were considered a sign of beauty. Moving from Western to native sources, we find one of the earliest references to tattoos in world literature in the poetry of Rumi. Rumi tells us about a tough man who wants a big lion tattoo to show how tough he is, but when it comes to actually getting the tattoo, he can't bear to do it. Their shoulders, arms, and bodies they tattoo with needles and a special ink that's blue. He asked, what image do you have your eye on? He said, tattoo the figure of a lion. But when the barber stuck the needle in, the man felt pain he couldn't bear begin. Our fearless hero screamed, stop it, sir. What are you stabbing like a murderer? Brother, you have to bear the needle's pain to flee your infidel self's poisonous reign. Back then, tattooing yourself with a lion was a sign of being a tough guy, a thug, but not much has changed since then. One of my favorite Iranian street photographers, who I will tag in the description, has photographed many contemporary Iranian tough guys with traditional tattoos. What you'll notice when looking at them is that they don't have the clarity and the definition of tattoos done by contemporary machines. That's because these tattoos are stick and pokes. The tattoo is much slower, more painful, and less defined. I kind of prefer the aesthetic of the stick and poke. Most tattoos were not on tough guys, however. They were historically on women as beautification. Just like our traditional clothes, another one of our millennia-old traditions is slowly dying before our eyes, and no one seems to care. If you care about preserving Persian culture, the journey begins with learning the language. So if you want to learn Persian for free, see the link in my bio.